ప్రేమ స్వరూపులారా,
I was doing MSc. I didn't get seat in Bangalore, so Swami told me, you go to Anantapur PG Center and write the exam. And I wrote the exam and I got a seat. As I was doing my MSc there, my own seniors had become lecturers in Prashanthi Nilayam. See, at that time, Prashanthi Nilayam college had just started. We didn't have post-graduation. So Swami asked me to do it outside. So one of the days when I came, my senior who was the warden, called me and said, "Hey, Ravi Kumar, you're very lucky." I said, "What happened?" He said, "See, we wanted to put up a drama in front of Swami. It's called Kingdom of Heaven." I think I'll skip all this. Yeah. He said, "We are putting up this drama. It's about Jesus Christ life. There's an international conference coming up." So we asked Swami for permission, and Swami said, yeah, you can put it up. It's a good idea. And then Swami went through the list, who is acting as whom. And Swami showed one particular role and said, "Put Ravi in this role." And they said, "Swami is not here. He's studying in Anantapur, 80 kilometers away." Swami said, "He comes weekends, he can practice. You put him in that role." So Swami selected you for this role, he said. I didn't realize at that time that Swami had really selected me for that role, not only in the drama. So when I came that weekend, Swami himself told me, "Hey, I have selected you for the drama." There was one gentleman by name Christopher St. John, who was actually a Hollywood director and actor. Swami called him, told him, "You direct, take these boys to Purnachanda Auditorium green room and let them practice." We were practicing there. When Jesus Christ, he rubs my eyes, okay, and I get eyesight. That is the role. That is, I'm a blind beggar sitting on the footpath. Somebody tells, "Jesus is coming. Why don't you ask him for eyesight?" And I run to Jesus and say, "Please give me eyesight." He says, "Do you have faith I can give you?" I say, "Yeah, I have faith." So he just rubs the eyes and I get eyesight. This was my role. Just when Jesus Christ was giving me eyesight, through the side entrance, Swami entered. And Swami said, "Sai Baba came and you got your eyesight." So we all laughed. It was a drama after all, no? The next day when we were practicing, Swami was giving darshan and we heard claps. We continued with our drama. Again, the same point when I was getting eyesight, Jesus was rubbing, Swami entered. And same sentence, Swami said, "Sai Baba came and you got eyesight." And all of us were stunned. Swami was telling this for the second time. After the scene, I went and sat next to Swami. Swami asked me, "Ravi, did you hear claps some time back?" He asked. "Yes, Swami." I was giving darshan. In the darshan line, there was a girl, 18 years old, Swami said. She was born blind. And I gave her eyesight, just like Jesus gives you eyesight. And as if that was not enough, Swami added this line, "Neek kuda istan. I'll give you also eyesight." This was the third time Swami is telling me. The drama got over and nothing. I was fine. 5 years later, I had enrolled for PhD. I was working in the lab. I'll abridge many of the things because there's no time to go into details. Everyone had left. There was one boy who was going near the entrance for lunch. When I was mixing sulfuric acid and acetic anhydride, and the whole thing exploded into my eye, concentrated sulfuric acid, and I lost my eyes. I shouted, I screamed, "Sai Ram." And this boy came running asking, "What happened? What happened?" I told him, "See, I've got concentrated sulfuric acid in my eye. Take me to the tap." Took me to the tap. There was a new building coming up next, the library building, so they had switched off the water because some plumbing work was going on. So there's no water. But in a chemistry lab, there are some 30, 40 taps. Finally, we found one tap in which there was little water. So this water, we washed the eyes. But the dangerous thing is, we always teach students that you should never add water to sulfuric acid. You must add sulfuric acid to water. Because when you add little amount of water to sulfuric acid, the heat produced is too much. So it started burning even more. And this boy who was there with me, he said, shall we go to the hospital? He had to hold me by the hand because I couldn't see. Took me to the hospital. And the nurse was there, asked what happened. Then this boy told, she asked, why did you bring him here? Then he said, because this is a hospital. Where else will I take him? Then she said, no, it's not that. See, we have only one eye doctor and she has gone to Sri Lanka for some visa problem. So we don't have any doctors here, eye doctors. So you take him to Bangalore. So this boy is asking me, shall we go to Bangalore? I said, no, Swami is here. I want to go to Swami's darshan. In the evening, as Swami is giving darshan, this boy is giving me a running commentary. Now Swami has come ladies' side. He has come near the Dashavataram gate. He has come near the sick bay. Now Swami is coming near us. And I can hear the rustle of Swami's silk robe, but I can't see him. Then some elders told Swami gave me 3 packets of vibhuti. And he said, Ravi, take this and you will be all right. Take this 3 times for 3 days. Anta sari aipotundi, he said. You will all be fine. So I was very happy because Swami had said. So I took this vibhuti, 3 days. The 3rd night, the entire packet of vibhuti I had completely taken, licked. Nothing was left. And I didn't get my sight. And I was very, very depressed. From the time that Swami had come into my life and that Katti Patang incident, I had always had a dream. I was thinking, I should do something by which I can serve Swami throughout my life. So I had taken all my studies seriously. I said I should become a lecturer. I should work in Swami's college. And today I said, after all these years, I am in such a plight that I cannot serve Swami. Somebody has to serve me. And I felt very, very bitter. I said, why did this happen? Why did it have to happen? But anyway, I was so depressed that I slept like that only. On the chair itself, in our Vrindavan, our students know we have a handle like that for writing, a writing part. I slept on that itself, and that whole night I had slept like that. In the morning, there was a knock on the door. I said, please come in, and somebody came. Looked at that boy and said, oh, you brought coffee for me? And he said, sir, what dress am I wearing? He said. I thought, what's the link between coffee and the dress he is wearing? I said, cream t-shirt, grey track pant. He said, sir, you're able to see. And it hit me like a ton of bricks. I could see him clearly. For a few minutes, I couldn't speak. Then I decided to go for morning darshan, because those days morning darshan students wouldn't go. When I went and sat in darshan line, Swami came straight to me and very sweetly said, how are your eyes, sir? Swami asked. In the happiest moment of your life and in the saddest moment of your life, the tongue does not speak. It's the eyes which speak. So I washed Swami's feet with my tears, thinking, Swami, what can I tell you, Lord? What can I tell you? If somebody gives, you drop your handkerchief, somebody gives it back to you, you say thanks. He has given your own handkerchief to you, and here is Swami who has given you eyesight. What can you tell him? How can you thank him? So after that, when I got up, Swami said, go to Bangalore, get yourself a pair of spectacles, always wear it in the lab, and then he said, be careful next time. The moment Swami said this, I got petrified, because that means there's going to be a next time. Because I said, somebody asked me, how was this experience when you lost the eyes? When you acid fell in the eyes? I said, very cool it was. How can I describe to you what it was? It was like if you have glass piece powdered and you had chili powder and you put something else, ginger, whatever, and then put it in your eye, it was as cool as that. Once you have this experience, it's enough for many lifetimes. And Swami had told me, be careful next time. So I went to Bangalore, got myself a pair of spectacles, came back, and I was working in the lab. My PhD was drawing to a close, and there were some final experiments I was doing, and suddenly the spectacles fell down and broke. Now, in those days, there was that optometrist was not there in Prashant and Nilayam. You had to go all the way to Bangalore, and getting this done would take another 3 days. The experiment I was doing was so important that if I stopped it, 3 months of work would get spoiled. I would lose 3 months, and my PhD would get pushed. So I told myself, I'll be very, very careful. Because inside I am hearing that voice saying, be careful next time. Be careful next time. I said, I will be very careful. So I continued with the experiment. And this time it was not sulfuric acid. It was chromic acid. Sulfuric acid plus potassium dichromate, when you add, you get a dark liquid like hala poison, black color, fumes and all that. And I put it in a sintered this thing. Nothing was happening. So I connected a pump to it, a vacuum pump which had just come. I had not even tested it. The previous day it had come from Japan. Just connected it. Nothing happened. So I went near it to see what had happened. At that time, the whole thing imploded and the acid fell in my eye. You can imagine my state of mind. It was so terribly burning, but in my mind, Swami is going to blast me now. That's what I was thinking. As the acid was coming down, it was burning the shirt. Okay. And luckily, there were a lot of people around me. They took me to the tap, water was there. We washed and washed and washed and washed, 45 minutes. At the end of it, the moment they stop, it's burning again. So this time some other boy took me to the general hospital. We had to go up the hill and come down like that. The eye doctor was there, and she examined me, and then I suddenly saw this boy leaving my hand and going with the doctor. The doctor took him to the next room and said something. I don't know what she said. He came back to me, and I asked him, what did the doctor say? He said, the doctor said everything is fine. I said, if everything is fine, it shouldn't be burning like this. Then I thought of a new strategy. I told him, see, Swami is going to ask me what did the doctor say, so better tell me the truth. Then he said, the doctor said you lost your eyes. Nothing can be done about it. She said, take him to Bangalore. Let somebody else say like that so that he doesn't go into a depression that nothing was done. So, sir, shall we go to Bangalore? I said, no, we are going to Mandir. Went to Mandir, and this time there's a big bandage over my eye sitting in the front. Those days there was no Vedam. There was not even music. Okay? And Swami comes out. Those two boys, Jaya, Vijaya, used to come out and stand. So Swami has come out. And Swami has turned to the lady's side. Of course, I didn't know all this at that time. It seems Swami saw me from the corner of the eye, turned and, Emaindi, Swami said, and came running towards me, running. And then he said, careless boy. Nenu cheppinan kada? I told you to be careful. And then Swami created Vibhuti, held my hand and put it in that and said, Ravi, take this, you will be fine. I was very happy. The moment Swami said that, I knew everything would be fine. Till that time, I was thinking, maybe I am destined to be blind. Swami has postponed it by so many years. But now I knew I would get my eyesight. And Swami said, go to the hospital tomorrow and get your dressing changed. Next day when I went, the doctor removed the bandage. I could see her. But she examined me with some telescope or something they have, some scope. She took me outside, took me inside, took me outside, took me inside, and then she said, something is wrong with my eyes, she said. I said, what happened? She said, yesterday nothing was there, today your eyes are okay. I said, that's because Swami gave me back my eyesight. To Swami who has given so much, words are not enough. But what else do we have to offer him? In fact, there is one beautiful saying which Swami used to say in his discourses. I had to skip so many. Yeah. Kanneeru tappinchu Sai. Sai wipes away your tears. But actually, Kanneeru teppinchu Sai. He brings tears to your eyes. When you talk of him, how can you not be in tears? He means so much to each one of us. The question that we have to ask ourselves is our life worth saving? Let us make something out of our life so that the Lord's efforts will not go in vain. Let us offer our lives completely to Him. That is why this program is called Samarpan. Completely we have to offer ourselves, every thought, every word. Even if we do that, maybe for 100 births, we would still not have expressed our thanks to Him. But at least let us try. This entire life, let us serve Him. After all that He's asking is for us to save ourselves. So this is what we need to do. And every opportunity I get to talk about this, I think is one more flower that I am able to place at Swami's feet. I always tell Swami, I have nothing to give you except this. Please accept it with love. Thank you, Sai Ram.